All right, guys. So, I told you my story, how I ended up in rehab, the tragedies in my life, seminary, vocation, diabetes, dad's accident. Got there, woke up there on my birthday, spent 3 weeks there connecting with other people and especially myself. But what have I learned? You know? Why am I sober? How do I stay sober? What did rehab teach me? So in this moment, I think the number one part about stopping substances is when you stop them, you can understand why you're doing them in the first place, right? So if you can't identify why, it becomes a lot harder to stop. So you've got to connect to the why and what are you getting from what you're doing. So I thought of it this way. I often, with alcohol especially, pouring a drink meant that I was done thinking. So either done thinking at the end of a long sales day, just done thinking in general, or even on a Saturday morning / afternoon, having a drink means I'm not going to achieve any, I don't have to think about my problems, my tasks, and my responsibilities. So let's flip that. So I learned that about myself. That's how I was using these things. And then it just compounded from there into cocaine and gambling, and all of it really had a similarity in that I was delaying dealing with my life and connecting with myself, right? And so if you can figure out why you're doing all these things, then you can start to figure out other strategies, how to replace what you're doing with something healthier. Because the number one thing you'll realize, or that I realized, maybe you will, maybe you won't, and I think this works for people that are in addiction or not, or just misusing things in their life, is that when you use a substance, you aren't getting rid of a problem. You're taking your list of problems and you're adding a problem. And usually you're adding an exponential problem, right? Let's imagine right now, I've been sober almost 70 months. What if I drank? Well, first of all, I'd be adding a problem to my list of problems. Then I'd have to tell my family. Then I'd have to, right? I'll do another video on that. But alcohol, cocaine, partying that's out of control, even pornography, often is something, if you're addicted to it, right, is something that is adding a problem to your life. And you lie to yourself by thinking that it's alleviating a problem or removing a problem. So that was one of the biggest things, is discovering, okay, I get something from drinking. I get something from cocaine. I get something from gambling, but it's really just like putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound of problems when you need to go to the doctor. Keep up whatever path you're on. Sober Walsh.